WIAA, Hudson High School and Hudson Hockey Association as pitching.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hudson Sports and Civic Center here on this opening night of the WIAA regional competition. Hudson Raiders are playing the visiting Somerset Osceola Spartans. It's the second time this year the teams have met. Hudson met Somerset, who's a pretty young team, early in the season and beat them by a resounding 11-0 score. But as we saw last week, time does matter. Hudson also pounded Richmond at the same time, 9-0, but only beat them last Saturday by a score of 4-2. So Hudson needs to pay attention to details and play good hockey to come out tonight with a win. Hudson is seeded number 2 in Section 1. They need to win 3 games to get to the state tournament this year. There's a lot of expectations on the part of this team, and we think they have a good opportunity to go far in the playoffs this year. Starting lineups right now for Somerset Osceola. This is Michael Erhammer, a sophomore, number 2. Bryce Wold, number 8 at wing.
Number 9, a junior, Josh Balarjian.
And Josh Balarjian, a junior, number 9 at the other wing.
And defense for Somerset.
Defense, number 25, sophomore Jared Getman. And Isaac Hawken, who's a junior, wearing number 28. In goal, number 16, sophomore Dylan Rivard. Well, Somerset has had a long hockey history. They actually had hockey, they've had hockey every bit as long as Hudson, and have had a number of Division I players, including their coach, Dan Gilkerson. Hudson lineup now: Cody Johnson, senior center, 4-year varsity player for the Raiders, and their leading scorer this year with 42 points. At his wing, Ryan Dow, number 8, a sophomore, exciting, fast player to watch. His second year on varsity. Taylor Zarfus is at the other wing, number 20, a 3-year varsity player and the second leading scorer on the team. Caleb Kostick, one of the senior defensemen who logs a lot of ice time for Hudson. And Josh Parent, captain, 4-year varsity player and returning all-conference player. In goal, Garrett Patrick, who has started every game for Hudson this year in goal and has the best goals against average in the Big Rivers Conference. We're going to take a moment for the national anthem, and then we'll be playing hockey.
Out of respect to the flag and the young men and women who serve it all around this world. And enjoy the national anthem sung by Hudson's own Raylan Weber.
Oh, say, can you see by the victory land once so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of
Now, a wonderful rendition of that national anthem by Hudson Junior Raylan Weber. She's been with us since she was a 7th grader. So we're getting ready to play hockey. This is Dave Drewski and Nancy Johnson on behalf of the Hudson Blue Line Club bringing you this game. Nancy, when I was looking through the roster, I noticed that Somerset's on a rebuilding year. They only have 2 seniors, and the bulk of their lineup are comprised of freshmen and sophomores. So we know that Dan Gilkerson is a good hockey guy. He was part of some powerful teams Somerset had about 10 years ago. He did play Division I hockey, so he's out to rebuild this program. Somerset did lose some very talented players to private schools such as Hill Murray. 2 of those players were first line on the perennial Minnesota Power. And they also have Sam Lofquist, who's a defenseman for the Minnesota Gophers. So they've developed some good hockey players. I think their problem has more or less been keeping them at home. Somerset comes into tonight having won the first a play-in game in the first round of Wisconsin WIAA playoffs by beating Spooner 4-1. So they've got a little playoff seasoning under their belt. Hudson, this is their first playoff game. They come in with a 13-6-1 record and have been on and off honorable mention all year. They have a lot of skill. If they play discipline, they can be a very tough team to beat. It's Caleb Kostic moving the puck back for Ryan Dow. Dow kicks it around for Zarfus in the corner. Zarf comes out. Shot intercepted by Wold and taken right back by Kostic. Kostic dumps it in the zone. There's Kostic on the point, tries to get it in front. It was deflected. Johnson over against Wold. Johnson rides Wold off. Dow coming in, taking off the puck. Perrin keeps it in the zone. Johnson picks it up. Wheels around in traffic. Takes a shot. Ooh, deflected off the crossbar. Very nearly in the net for Hudson. There's Johnson keeping the puck in play. Johnson with Wold pestering him. Holcomb trying to help out. Johnson in there battling. Now Dow in to help with Perrin backing up. Perrin comes away with it, skates into the dot, and the puck knocked off his stick. And Somerset tries to ice, but picked up by Spence Corum. He dumps it back in to the Somerset zone. Somerset tried a home run pass there. Went long, so we'll get reset here. So it looks like Detman stays out on D, along with his running mate Holcomb. And number 26, Urkul, who's the second leading scorer, taking the faceoff. Got Evan Husebo dumping it in. Husebo, Gardine, and Phil McSorley have been a very effective line the second half of the year for Hudson. Real effective forecheck. There's a great pass in front. You see how those guys work together. There's Gardine passing to Husebo. Husebo's shot was blocked by Rivard. Puck comes out to Kostic. Kostic sends it in front. Puck deflected off of the corner. Husebo sends it over towards McSorley. Detman sends it out of the zone. Kostic dumps it right back in. A lot of traffic here on neutral ice. And the puck sent back in where Johnson picks it up. Johnson around 2 men and carries it across neutral ice. Now he's all the way into the Somerset zone. Puck ridden off the puck as he approached the net. Johnson with the puck again, tried to get it out to Kostic. Evan Zick lit up number 6, Flom, as he came into central ice, but he's going to go to the box for interference. So at 2:38 here, Somerset will go on the power play. They've really not had established any presence in the Hudson zone yet. It's Urkul on the face-off. Detman moving up the wing here. The puck comes over to Conrad. Conrad rings it around. And Johnson picks it up. Johnson one-on-one with Detman coming up. Puck knocked off into the corner. Johnson in forechecking alone, just trying to kill time. Puck coming in to the Hudson zone. It was shot wide by Urquhart. Perrin over to pick it up. Comes out to the point. It was shot on net. And Kostic whips it around his man and clears the zone. Knocked down over there by Urquhart. We got Miller carrying it into the zone for Somerset. Stick checked off by Patrick. And Somerset will have to tag up. Here's Perrin sending it down the length of the ice. Rivard knocks it down. And Somerset resets. Puck left back for Conrad. The puck comes out. And Somerset winging around the net. Here's Kostic back to get it. Kostic clears the zone. 28 seconds left on the Somerset power play. Here's Conrad back to get it. And he sends it up. And again, Hudson doing a nice job attacking Somerset as they enter the zone. Puck comes out to Hawken, and shot is smothered by Patrick with 2 seconds left in the Somerset power play.
Nice shot. 2 seconds, watch the mark.
Hudson switches lines now. Evan Huseball out with McSorley. Perrin taking a break, replaced by Andrew Rodewald. Huseball wins that face-off. Rodewald's got it in the corner. And Huseball coming in to help out. Puck goes over to the corner. Kostic picks it up. And it ends up on the stick of Huseball. Dardine sends it into the corner. Puck sent around. McSorley chasing out. Perrin's in. Rides his man off the puck. And it's flipped out of the zone by Dardine. They'll bring a face-off just inside the Somerset zone. Well, Somerset's obviously improved a lot since the beginning of the year, as you see with most young teams. And McSorley battling there. Puck again knocked out. This time came off Huseball. So we'll have a face-off at the same spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the program, everybody's active except for one stretch.
It's Flom taking a face-off. Comes back. And out of the Hudson zone. Dumped back in by Hudson. Here's Detman's pass. Knocked down, comes back to McSorley. McSorley dumps it in the corner. Their puck now behind the net with Huseball. He reverses field. Once again, looking. One thing you really gotta like about this Hudson line, they always move to open ice, and they're very, very unselfish. Spence Corum sending the puck down to Huseball on the post. He misfired on that. Van Someren comes out with it. Van Someren hit as he crosses the Hudson blue line, but comes up with a puck. Somerset offside on that, and that'll bring up a face-off just outside the Hudson zone. Well, Hudson's yet to really establish a rhythm. They did really control play in the first, up until that penalty. Now, seeing Zach Meinlich out for the first time. Puck comes back to Zick. Zick skates it through neutral ice and dumps it into the zone. Zick with it behind the net, sends it in front. Right on the stick of Mitch Patrick, and Patrick pounds it home. So Hudson draws first blood here at 5:15 of the period. Patrick from Zick And Hudson gets on, beautiful play there. Zip with speed coming into the zone. Patrick trailing, zipped around the back of the net and hit a nice little backhand pass right on Patrick's stick. Patrick one-timed it into the net by Rivard, and Hudson gets the one, jumps out to a one-goal lead. We got Hudson momentarily offside. Puck comes back to get it. Puck comes out of the zone, picked up by Zick, and battle for it here and neutralized. Now Patrick carries it in the zone, sends it across. Just missed a connection there with Phil Druski in the middle. Here's Beinlich with it, back to Druski. Hudson has 3 effective and 3 very different lines. There's a shot in front, deflected wide by Rivard. Puck comes over to Conrad, and Conrad gets it out of the Somerset zone. Zick quickly over to Kostic. Kostic reverses and heads up ice into the zone. Kostic has scored 19 points this year. The 5th leading scorer on a Hudson team. There's Ryan Dow, who can really fly down to pick up that loose puck in the corner. Dow was taken down on the play. Zarfus leaves it for Johnson. Johnson shot deflected in front. Zarfus out to Dow. The puck deflected, and Dow sends it back to Roderwald. Roderwald sends it behind the net. Johnson picks it up at the half boards and gets it back to Zarfus. Zarfus to Dow, then Roderwald comes in, shot, kicked to the side by Rivard. Okay, we got a trip on Somerset right now. I didn't catch the number. Okay, Somerset goes to the box for a trip. That's number 20, and I do not have his name. So at 8:52, Hudson goes on the power play. It looked like they had a power play going there. Okay. Holcomb is, okay, it's Holcomb that went for the trip. He's number 28. There's Cody Johnson kicking the puck from neutral ice into the zone. There's another, there'll be a trip on the other starting defenseman. There's a shot on net by Perrin. Hudson will now go on a 5-on-3. Another trip called on the other starting defenseman for Somerset, that's Detman.
25-point tripping.
So Hudson will be on the power play for 1:30 here. 5-on-3 power play. There's Druski sending the puck over to Johnson. Johnson scores from the point, hit the far post. And Hudson draws blood in 6 seconds on that 5-on-3 power play. It'll be Johnson from Druski for sure.
8, 11.
Well, I'm going to have to ask Nancy. Did you see who got the second assist on that? Okay, no. I think, well, we'll get that later for you, but Hudson.
Druski.
Well, Druski got the first assist on that. And Hudson remains on the power play. Okay, Perrin with the second assist on that. Well, it's Cody Johnson coming into the zone. He sets up, gets the puck over to Perrin. Perrin shot on net. Druski tried a deflection there. Druski sends it out to Perrin. Over to Johnson. Johnson one-timer, high off the glass. There's Dow over to Druski. Druski tries to punch it in, and it looks like it's swallowed up by the pads of Rivard. Taylor Zarfus in his customary spot, camped out in the crease. It's been very effective for him as he's the leading scorer for Hudson this year with, well, he's now been tied by Cody Johnson. Both have 22 goals. There's Dow taking the face-off. Puck comes out to Perrin. Perrin sends it through the slot. Ends up on Johnson's stick. Johnson back to Perrin. Perrin shot. knocked down, not quite smothered, but there was a whistle, so we'll have another face-off. Minute 8 left in this Hudson power play. Hudson's got 4 seniors and a sophomore out here. The sophomore, Dow, taking the face-off. Kind of a draw on that face-off. Somerset ends up with it and clears the zone. And Kieran back to get it. Puck comes over to Dow. Dow sends it rink wide to Zarfus. Zarfus into the Somerset zone. Puck taken by Van Someren and sent out of play. Van Someren's listed at 5'9", 155. I think that's with his skates on. That's a pretty little guy. Once again, Dow taking the face-off. This time against Urkul. Urkul's the leading Somerset scorer with 22 points coming into the game. Dow pivots off the face-off and gets a shot on net. Soft pass to Johnson. We got Conrad coming in, and Johnson's going to go for a hook. So that'll erase the last 32 seconds of the power play, and Cody Johnson will go in for a hook. Okay, so there'll be a face-off down in the Hudson zone. We'll have a little bit of 4-on-4 hockey here. Hudson sends Patrick out. And Dow would face off against Urkul. Puck comes out to Detman. Detman sends it over to Van Someren. Van Someren tried to get it down for Conrad. And now here comes Dow in with speed. Backhander just missed the post. Dow has a lot to handle. He's got great acceleration, good reach. Now he comes out with a puck, battling, gets it over to Patrick. Patrick back to Kostic. Kostic in front to try to hit Dow, sneaking across the front. Now the net's off its moorings, and they'll bring another face-off. Somerset will be on a minute 28 power play now. In that, Hudson knocked the net off. The face-off will come out of the Somerset zone. Well, we got Urkul taking the face-off against Dow. Puck comes back to Detman. Detman around to set back up. Here's Urkul coming back. Urkul ridden off the puck by Patrick. And puck comes up. A little bit of dipsy-doodle there. Urhammer and Kostic battling there. Kostic wins that battle. Detman sends it up center ice to Urkul. Urkul does a little backhand flip. Not handled by... And once again, Urkul trying to set up the Hudson or the Somerset power play. 45 seconds left here on the Somerset power play. Urkul into the Hudson zone. Then he shoots and scores on the far post. So, seemingly innocent looking play. A shot from the top of the circle by Urkul goes in.
26-25.
And he'll get an assist from number 25, Detman. And score now stands 2-1. That'll be the it for Somerset power play.
Corey Urschel, assisted by 25, Jared Detman. Urschel for Detman.
Detman tries to clear. It's picked up by McSorley. McSorley leaves it for Husable. Husable coming around the corner. Sends it back around. McSorley in. Detman chips it up. Comes out to Kostic. And then picked up by Husable, who carries it in the zone. Kicking out of the zone by Somerset and thrown down into the Hudson zone. Is McSorley shot knocked down and picked up by Kostic. Kostic sends it too hot. Detman Shot blocked by Husebo and sent out of the Hudson zone. McSorley in on the forecheck. Puck deflected up to neutralize where Johnson picks it up. Johnson into the zone. Hip checked off. The puck comes around where. Oh, nice little feed in the slot there. The shot went high by Johnson. Taylor Zarfus spotting Johnson coming down the crease. Johnson one-timed it, but it went high. Again, bringing the face-off outside of the Somerset zone. Johnson against Urku. Johnson wins that cleanly, and Perrin dumps it into the Somerset zone. Hudson goes on the forecheck. Puck comes around the boards. Urku can't clear the zone. Comes back to Zarfus. Zarfus around Van Sommer and to Johnson. Johnson pivots, sends it in front to Dow. Dow one-times it. Perrin had a Zarfus had a chance at a rebound there. Just missed it. Still battling down below us here. Urku, Dow, Johnson. Now Perrin comes out. Perrin sends it off Rivard's pads, just wide of the net. Johnson tried a little backhander to Dow. Now Conrad skates it out. Corum lights him up as he releases that puck. You can tell Spence Corum played a little bit of football there. And he is a fullback, so he knows how to block. We got Josh Perrin with the puck, sends it up. Dow tried to one-time it out of the zone. Perrin ends up with it. Comes up with Johnson. Perrin streaking to the net. Johnson shot, rebound, and the puck is off. The net is off. Well, Perrin's a defenseman as well as Kostick that don't hesitate to jump into the offensive flow. There he went hard to the net. Johnson put it hard on Rivard. Sometimes the rebound comes the right way. He's Beinlich taking the face off now. Puck comes towards the net, picked up and intercepted by Beinlich. Beinlich tried to get it over to Patrick. Patrick in there battling, and Van Sommer ends up with it. Comes back in the zone. Druski around the check by Detman. Druski tried a backhand. Pass is deflected off to the corner. Druski sends it in on Rivard. Here's Patrick. Oh! Rebound. Just went over the top of Beinlich's stick. Beinlich tried to shoot it. Druski deflects off him. Tries to pivot around and feed Patrick in front. The puck hit the netting behind and it'll bring a face-off. No, great opportunity there for Zach Beinlich. Couldn't quite get the wood on the rubber. That half of the net was wide open. Now we got Husebo taking the face-off. Hudson controls. Somerset steals it and dumps it in. Valerian sent it down for an ice. Well, like most outmanned teams, Somerset shows no reluctance to ice the puck when there's pressure on. Here's Husebo against Erhammer. Puck comes out to Zick. Zick dumps it into the corner. Detman can control it. Husebo in front, put it in net. McSorley had an opportunity. Hits Husebo backshanded into the far corner of the net, and Hudson jumps out to a 3-1 lead here. So once again, that line with their unselfish play and good positioning racks up another goal. That was Husebo from McSorley at 14:53. Hudson's had a lot of good chances. This one they buried. Zerku face-off coming back to Detman. Detman sends it to Conrad. Conrad can't handle it. And Perrin sends it into the zone. Rivard sends it over to Detman. In front for Husebo. Husebo just missed on a one-timer. The puck comes out of the zone. Hudson will have to reset. Hawkham with it. Hawcom tries a long outlet pass. Karen knocked it down. Karen sends it up long where Dardine picks it up. Dardine shot deflected just wide. Nice little backhand pass right back in front. Both McSorley and Dardine were waiting there. Look at those guys scrap. They're great forecheckers. They really do control the zone. Conrad with it. Conrad sends it long. And that'll be a race for an ice. So excellent pressure by the red line for Hudson. Early in the season we called them third line. They're playing too good to call them a third line anymore. That's one thing I'm real interested to see how deep Hudson can go in the playoffs, because not too many teams have three effective lines anywhere in Wisconsin. And Hudson does have three very effective forward lines. Led by the line Cody Johnson centers here. Puck goes into the corner. Johnson with Urquhart. Urquhart, who showed earlier why he's the leading scorer on the Somerset team. Urquhart with speed. Fans on that shot. Tried to get it to the trailer there. Puck intercepted by Conrad and dumped back behind the Hudson net. We've got a whistle here. Conrad's down. You can see what happened to him. He was the guy that got labeled by Spence Corum a couple of shifts ago. So he might have a target painted on him that we don't see. Okay, no infraction there, so it'll bring a face-off. Urhammer and Johnson just outside the Hudson zone. Hudson with a 3-1 lead here towards the end of the first period. The puck comes back into neutral ice. Hocum sends it over. No, it's carried into the zone. Shot on net. Dow comes away. Dow with speed coming through neutral ice. Just a pass a little bit long for Johnson, who was trailing on the play. That play was setting up nice for Hudson, but hockey's a game of inches and fractions of inches, and that one didn't quite connect. Detman rings it around hard, comes out of the zone. There's Urhammer losing control. Johnson had to check up there. Puck comes out of the zone. And shot on net by Valerian, knocked down and held by Garrett Patrick. Bring a face-off now between Urhammer and Johnson down in the Hudson zone. Puck comes out and chipped over to the corner, and that'll end the period. So, Somerset putting up a lot more fight than they did in the first meeting between these two teams early in the year when Hudson won by 11-0 score. Hudson with a 3-1 lead and a 17-8 shot advantage. Hudson's had a lot of sustained pressure. Just a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill on the part of Rivard to keep a couple more pucks from going in for Hudson. Just to recap the first period action, Evan Zick lit up a Somerset player right after he let go of the puck and was called for interference at 2:38. Somerset did no damage on that power play. Then at 5:15, Garrett Patrick took a nice feed from Evan Zick from behind the net and put it away. Hudson was off to a 1-0 lead. Then Somerset's Detman went to the box for a trip, and 30 seconds later, Hocum went to the box for another trip, and Hudson was on a 5-on-3 advantage. Hudson's Cody Johnson then scored a minute shortly into that 5-on-3 with assists from Drewiski and Josh Perrin. Hudson went to the box at 9:52 when Cody Johnson was called for a hook. This time Somerset did convert on the power play where Urku took it end to end and shot from the top of the circle and snuck by Garrett Patrick for a goal. Detman was given the assist on that. And finally, Hudson's red line scored at 14:53 when Evan Husebo put home a nice goal mouth feed from Phil McSorley. So Hudson off to a 3-1 lead. They've definitely controlled play here. And Nancy, I think they're on their way to, if they keep playing like this, on their way to the second round of the playoffs. We'll give you a little more news on playoffs after we come back for the second period. Dave Drewiski and Nancy Johnson for the Hudson Blue Line Club. Okay, welcome back to the start of the second period here, the Hudson Somerset playoff, big WIAA playoff game. Caleb Kostick sends the puck over to Ryan Dow. Puck sent on net. Kieran gets it out to Zarfus at center ice. Zarfus leaves it for Johnson. Johnson's shot held by Rivard. Okay, we just got a change on scoring for Hudson's second goal. The second assist going to Ryan Dow, who actually won the face-off. Got the puck to Phil Goritzky, who sent it out to Cody Johnson and buried it. Now Johnson taking the face-off against Urku down in the Somerset zone. Puck goes up and out of play. Hudson with a 3-1 lead here has consistently dominated play. Somerset's lone goal coming by Urku from the top of the circle on a Somerset power play. Puck chipped right on net by Johnson off the face-off. Rivard again holds on and will bring another face-off. Johnson has been very good on face-offs this second half of the year. Now Johnson's being sent out, Dow coming in. Dow tried to get it back to Johnson, sent around the net, and right back into the Somerset zone. The puck comes out, Urku again with it, carries it into the zone, dumps it in, where Johnson will pick it up. Johnson sends it around, intercepted there by Detman, and comes around into the corner. Dow tried to chip it out, and Johnson Perry picked it up. At the start of the period here, Cody Johnson will go for a rough. I didn't see that, must have been behind the play. So Somerset at 1:05 of the period will go on a power play.
Penalty on Somerset.
Oh, Somerset.
Austin
Miller, okay. I didn't see Cody do anything. So Hudson on a power play. McSorley going hard to the net. Puck comes out to Perrin. Perrin sends it in front. Conrad intercepts. Gets it up to Valerian. Perrin beats him on the race for the puck. Sends it around for Kostick. Back to Perrin, and now McSorley sending it up to Husebo. Husebo to McSorley. McSorley coming in the zone. McSorley around the net now. Leaves it for nice little backhand pass there from Dardine. McSorley put it on net. With Perrin in with speed. Perrin backhander on Rivard. Rivard covers up. It'll be another face-off. Minute 10 left on the Hudson power play. Hudson switches up their forward line. Goritzky, Zarfus, and Dow. Johnson drops back to the blue line along with Perrin for this Hudson power play. Puck got by Perrin there and comes down into the Hudson zone. Hudson will need to reset. Perrin gets it up to Dow. Dow sends it back to Perrin. And up to Zarfus, skates it through neutral ice. Now Zarfus coming around, looking for Johnson in the high slot. Urku did a good job of defending that. And he just tries to waste time by dumping it back to Van Someren in the zone. Urku tips it into the Hudson zone. Now Perrin going back to get it. 30 seconds left in the Hudson power play. Perrin sends it up to Johnson at neutral ice. Johnson out, Detman, Johnson in. Oh, tried to get it up high. Goritzky there trying to punch home the rebound, but Rivard held on. That puck just about crawled over Rivard's shoulder there as Johnson drove the net. Goritzky following up. almost punched it through the 5-hole. He's Dow taking the face-off now. 19 seconds left in the Hudson man advantage. Puck comes back behind and Dow leaves it for Drewski. Drewski sends it back out to Perrin. Perrin over to Johnson. Johnson one-timer, knocked down in front. Zarfus for Drewski. Drewski sent it out to Dow. Dow's shot stopped and held by Rivard. Hudson switches lines again. So here's Husebo taking the face-off now. The puck comes out. McSorley had a shot on that puck that skidded out in front of him, went just wide. Hudson's power play is over. Zick sends it through the crease. Kostic knocks it down. McSorley coming up to help. Zick up to Gardine. Gardine kicks it into the zone. Zick carries it. Hit Husebo, and that'll be offside against Hudson. Well, Hudson's come out hard. At the start of the second period, got 6 shots on goal here in the opening minutes. There's Husebo losing the puck right at the blue line to Hockham. Comes back to Zick. Zick sends it up just long for Dardine. Is Husebo in on a hard forecheck. Puck comes out. Kostic sends it over for Husebo. Husebo tried to get it and does to McSorley. Zick's shot deflected wide. Dardine winning the race over there. Puck comes back on Dardine's stick. He dumps it right back in. He's Hockham with it. Gets it out to Urquhart. Urquhart can't hold on. Zick picks it up. Now Urquhart with the puck. Ridden off by Zick as he enters the Hudson zone. Zick hit by Conrad. Puck comes around to Kostic. Kostic kicking off the puck. Now Somerset is a known power in football in Division 4 in Wisconsin. The puck sent on net by Kostic. Hudson's Beinlich line came out. Urquhart has the puck 2-on-1 here. Urquhart shot deflected wide. Drewski sends it out. Hockham sends it back into the Hudson zone where Perrin picks it up. Beinlich knocks it in behind the Somerset net. Patrick in pursuit on Hockham there. Patrick still working hard on the forecheck. Drewski comes up with it. Drewski sends it long and off the stick of Perrin. Perrin lofts one over to Rodewald, and that'll be an ice on Hudson. Well, Hudson making quick, long passes. Those are hard to connect on sometimes. One of the players that's made tremendous improvement for Hudson this year is Andrew Rodewald, junior defenseman, number 9. It's Johnson winning that face-off cleanly. Perrin sends it around to Zarfus, a little bit long. Hockham sends it back in by the Hudson net. Perrin picks it up, sends it over to Rodewald. Rodewald chips it in Somerset zone. Now, puck intercepted by Dow at center ice, gets it up to Johnson. Johnson coming in 2-on-2 with Zarfus. Moving for Zarfus. Zarfus went to the near post and locked it up over Rivard's glove. And Hudson jumps out to a 4-1 lead. So Zarfus from Johnson. Nice little play there. Zarfus went hard to the net like he's very good at doing and punched it in hard and puck walked up over Rivard's pad and glove. And Johnson wins that face-off cleanly. Rodewald sends it up to Zarfus. Zarfus carries it into the zone. Zarfus to Johnson. Johnson shot. Rebound by Zarfus. And the net comes off its moorings. 2 good quick chances for Hudson there. And these two guys have been playing together since they were squirts, which is about for 10 or 12 years now. So they know how to move the puck, they know how to score.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
Johnson against Urkel here. Johnson again wins the face-off. Shot in front, their backhand attempt. And Zarfus in front, and there Johnson puts it away. 3 good chances off that shot from Dow on the point. And Hudson quickly puts another one on the boards. 2 goals, 18 seconds apart. Okay, another correction on scoring. The first goal was Zarfus from Johnson and Rodewald. This goal was Johnson from Zarfus and Rodewald. So that combination works twice very well. Like I was saying just a minute ago, Andrew Rodewald has really improved as a defenseman. What I like best about him is he puts a low, heavy shot on net that almost always gives up a rebound. And especially when Zarfus and Johnson are out patrolling the crease, it gives Hudson very good scoring opportunities. So while we get a fresh supply of pucks and correct the scoring, looks like Somerset's now changing their goalie. So I'm going to need to check and see who this new goalie is.
The goal scored prior to this point up as follows. We have a correction on the prior goal. I'll read that one first. That goal at 5:38 was 20. Taylor Zarfos assisted by 18. Cody Johnson and 8. Ryan Dow. This one is 18. Cody Johnson assisted by 20. Taylor Zarfos and 9. Andrew Rodewald.
Okay, I'm going to have to correct the scoring there. First goal, Zarfus from Johnson and Dow at 5:38. Then at 5:57, Johnson from Zarfus and Rodewald. So Hudson's pressure is starting to get to Somerset. As I said earlier, Somerset only has 2 seniors. Their leading scorer, Benson, is not in the lineup tonight. He's a junior. As Urkel face-off coming back into the Hudson zone, Zick controls, gets it to Dardine, who sends it up to McSorley. McSorley tries to slip it through, he does. Hizbo sends a backhander, soft on that. The new goalie, and which is Belil. As Urkel working hard, trying to be really a one-man show for Somerset. He's ridden off the puck. Puck sent up. McSorley tipped it into the zone. McSorley in battling. Now it comes out. And Miller sends it out of the Somerset zone. Battling down here, neutralized. Hizbo comes up with a 2-on-1 here. McSorley and Hizbo. Hizbo going wide, looking for McSorley. Oh, McSorley almost got it. I think there was a stick save there by Belil, who's the new goalie for Somerset. The puck comes out. Zick knocks it down, sends it right back in. Puck deflected off Belil. There's Hizbo leaving it back. McSorley rides Miller off the puck, comes out beyond Zick, no ice on that, and both teams will switch out. Here's Zick with the puck, sends it over to Kostic. Kostic up to Sarno. Sarno tries to get it over to Johnson. Puck comes out of the Hudson zone, Kostic dumps it right back in. There's Detman battling with Ryan Haynes. He wisely backs off. There's a nice little pass in front. Nice attempt there by Sarno. It was Johnson feeding Sarno. Sarno almost put it home. And Sarno taking the face-offs here. against Valerian. Puck goes back behind the net. There's Ryan Haynes controlling. Haynes fighting off a check. Haynes trying to get it in front. Puck comes out to Perrin. Perrin flips it over to Johnson. Johnson one-times it. Puck jumps up off of a little and over the net. Haynes sends it out to Perrin. Perrin shot deflected off into the corner. Kostic dumps it back for Haynes. Comes over to Perrin. Perrin hits the skates of Ryan Haynes. Johnson tried to get a backhand off there. Knocked down by Detman. Sent around to Perrin. Perrin ships it over to Haynes. Haynes fights off the ref. And now he's battling with Hawkham. Johnson comes out with it. Johnson in front. Opportunity there for Perrin and Haynes. Puck came off, or the net came off its moorings before the puck went in the net, so no goal. Tremendous sustained pressure there by Hudson. I think whatever fire that Danny Gilkerson managed to get into his team tonight is kind of being overwhelmed by the constant Hudson pressure. Here's Zach Beinlich winning that. There's an opportunity in front for Patrick. Patrick had a backhander. That was deflected. Patrick with the puck, tries to shoot it in from a sharp angle, comes over to Perrin. Perrin's going to go to the box there for a boarding, I believe. That's Van Someren hard. Okay, so he's calling it a charge. So 2-minute minor for Perrin.
Number 19, Josh Perrin, and 2-minute minor for charging. Perrin charging at 8:54 of the second period.
So Hudson on the penalty kill right now. Urku, who has the lone goal for Somerset, wins that. Puck comes over. There's Conrad with it. Leaves it for Urku. Urku sends it up for Van Someren. Too long, and that'll be an ice. So Zarfu's taking the face-off now against Urku. Comes out to Somerset, drop back for Urku. Hawken has it, leaves it, he decides to take it this time. Sends it up beyond Conrad, and Zick dumps it into the Somerset zone. Dow's got it. As it run around the boards. Dow with it now, tried to hit Zarfus in front. Little miscue there. Zick dumps it right back in the zone. Hits Conrad. Now Dow in on the forecheck, steals the puck. They're going to call a slash on Dow, and Hudson will go on a 2-man disadvantage here. So at 9:44, Hudson down 2 men. Hudson with a Somerset with a 5-on-3 advantage here. For a minute 9. Puck being carried into the zone by Somerset. That's Urhammer. Puck stolen by Johnson. Comes over into the corner. Conrad's got it. Conrad loses it. Johnson picks it up. Zarfus sends it down into the Somerset zone. Well, this will be a test for Hudson here. Somerset with a 5-on-3 advantage. Urku with the puck. Urku skating into the zone. Wheels around, looks for a trailer, sends it over to Conrad. Conrad, one-timer attempt by Urhammer. Urhammer sends it out to Conrad. Conrad shot, deflected into the corner by Patrick. There's Urku with it. Urku sends it over to Hawken. Hawken shot off. Now Hudson's got 2.5 men in there. Taylor Zarfus really took a hard shot off the shins. And fortunately, Kostic was able to ice the puck, and Zarfus comes off. Hudson has Patrick coming out to replace him. Here Johnson steals the puck, wheeling around to burn some time. Johnson around Two-man shoots, puck deflected up and over the net. Urku with the puck, chased by Patrick. Hudson back to only a one-man disadvantage here. Puck comes over to Conrad. Conrad backhands it to Hawken. Puck in front. There's a great opportunity there. That was Urku who snuck into the slot. Shot knocked down. And we've got an interference call. Looks like Patrick's going to go for interference, and so at 11:28, Somerset will have another brief 5-on-3 advantage. 16 seconds in the 5-on-3 advantage for Somerset. Johnson taking the face-off. Face-off sent in. And behind, picked up by Erhammer. Erhammer over to Valerian. Valerian back to Erhammer. Clock isn't running. Fortunately, the puck comes out of the zone. Okay. So, one-man advantage now for Somerset. Hawken with the puck, skates it into the Hudson zone. Hawken sends it wide, knocked down by Erhammer, Urku. And here's Johnson breaking out one-on-one against Conrad. Johnson got it over to, nice backhand attempt there by Zarfus. Urku skating into the zone. Urku knocked off the puck by Kostic. Puck comes wide for Conrad. Johnson over there knocks it down. Ends up on Conrad's stick. Conrad attempted pass deflected out of the zone by Johnson. 50 seconds left here on the Somerset power play. Johnson takes a well-deserved rest. Urku shot blocked by Kostic. Another shot in front deflected wide by Patrick. Puck stolen by Josh Perrin. Perrin takes it back into the Somerset zone. Drisky picks it up. Drisky goes in 1-on-2. Around his man. Just tried to deke, lost the handle on it. Now the puck comes out 2-on-1 advantage here for Somerset. This is Kostic getting it out of the zone. Kostic now coming back the other way, 1-on-1 against Van Someren. Kostic's hard shot knocked down by Belil. Conrad ends up with it. Both teams back to full strength now. Here's Zach Feinlich getting it at center ice and dumping it into the Somerset zone. Now the puck gotten out of the Somerset zone by Van Someren. Drisky puts it right back in. Now the red line comes off for Hudson, and Somerset ices the puck. So a lot of end-to-end action. Somerset had one great opportunity there where Urku snuck into the slot and had a point-blank shot on Patrick. Patrick knocked it down, and Hudson maintains their 5-1 lead, even though Somerset had well over 2 minutes there with a 5-on-3 advantage. Hudson's now racked up 40 shots with 3 minutes left here in the second period. If I remember right, they had 60 shots against Somerset in their first meeting. Here's Big Jorgensen, number 22, loses control of the puck. Perrin comes up with it. Perrin shot deflected high and out of play. Perrin going for top shelf there over the shoulder of Belil. We've been going through a lot of pucks tonight. Typically they start with about 3 pucks, and I know they had to get 3 more. There's been a lot of pucks out of play. You keep the pucks on a bucket of ice so they slide better. Here's Gizmo knocking it into the zone, kicked back out by Somerset. Puck dumped into the zone. Then Someren's got it. Then Somerin forecheck and around the forecheck by McSorley. Rotowald dumping it in to the Somerset zone. Hawken tries to ring it around for Van Someren. McSorley gets it over to Dardine. Dardine looking for an outlet here. Dardine dumps it back to McSorley. No, Husebau's got it behind the net. Hawken knocks Husebau off the net and sends it over for Jorgensen. Jorgensen at 6'5" is the biggest player on the ice. The puck comes on, Rodewald's got it. Rodewald, long outlet pass to McSorley. McSorley dumps it into the zone, and this will be a line shift for Hudson. Long outlet pass, too hot for Somerset. Dow with speed comes around the check, gets it to Zarfus. Zarfus shoots, puck off the side of the net. There's a delayed penalty here on Somerset. Johnson tried a shot there. Now we'll have the call. It'll be a hold. I believe that's going to be called on Van Someren, number 19. So Hudson will go on the power play. So Van Someren in the box. Hudson with a minute 23 going on the power play.
37 of the second period.
Well, Hudson's had a lot of pressure in their power plays, although they were penalty killing more than they are on power play this period. There's Perrin over to Johnson. Johnson around one man, shoots for the far post, a little wide, comes over to Perrin. Perrin leaves it for Dow. Dow flips it over to Johnson. Johnson in front. Drisky's sneaking in front, tipped it over the net. There's Perrin with it. One-timer by Zarfus. Went wide. Well, Drisky and Zarfus are parked on either post, looking for opportunities. Johnson doing a good job getting the puck down deep. Here's Dow taking the face-off. Puck comes over, Drisky dumps it in the corner. Here's Zarfus with it. Zarfus dumps it for Drisky behind the net. Drisky bounced by Hawken. Comes over to the stick of Zarfus. Zarfus sends it over to Dow. Dow out to Perrin. Perrin, big slap shot. Hit Drisky and deflects off into the corner. Yeah, I don't know where that got him. Looking like it might have got him on the hand. 37 seconds left. That puck went on a play, so it brings the face-off outside the Somerset zone. Dow in there battling, comes out with the puck, goes back to Hawken behind the net. Hawken tries to ring it around. Drisky knocks it down. Drisky to Johnson in front. Johnson shot kicked wide by Belil. Drisky trying to wrap around. Shot wide. There comes out to Zarfus. Zarfus shot again, kicked to the corner by Belil. Out to Perrin. Perrin in front. Johnson's got it. Johnson tried to get it in front for Drisky. Drisky sends it out to Zarfus. Zarfus back to Johnson. Johnson fights off a check, and that's the end of the period. So a lot of opportunities there from Hudson. 3 more shots, bringing their total up to 43 to 14 for the period. Hudson rattled off 25 shots in that period. So they added 2 more goals and are enjoying a comfortable 5-1 lead over Somerset. You can see Somerset's, their legs have really stopped moving. Hudson's at times skating around them like they're cones. So Hudson just needs to keep the sustained pressure. I think the coach can empty their bench here fairly soon as they've kind of worked the life out of the Hudson Somerset Spartans here tonight. To recap the scoring for the period, started out with a rough on Miller from Somerset. Hudson was unable to capitalize on that. Hudson did score 2 goals in quick succession at 5:38 when Zarfus on assist from Johnson and Dow got their 4th goal. 5th goal came 15 seconds later when Johnson with assists from Zarfus and Rodewald got Hudson their 5th goal. There's a series of penalties against Hudson. A charge against Perrin. 30 seconds later, a slash against Dow put Hudson on a 5-on-3 disadvantage. Somerset was unable to convert on that. And as that second penalty came to an end, Patrick went in for interference. Somerset again had a 5-on-3 advantage. They were not able to convert. And finally, at the end of the period, Hudson was had a lot of sustained pressure on their own power play when Somerset's Van Someren went to the box on a hole, but they were unable to convert. So Hudson will start the third period with a 37-second power play, and hopefully they can put their 6th goal on the boards and skate on to the second round of the WIA playoffs. So join us back for the third period. This has been Dave Drewski and Nancy Johnson for the Hudson Blue Line Club. Welcome back to the start of the third period in the Hudson Somerset first round playoff game. Hudson is off to a 5-1 lead, really putting a lot of sustained pressure. They have a brief power play to start this period. Van Someren in the box for Somerset. There's Perrin getting it up to Dow. Dow carries it into the Somerset zone. Zone around a man. There's Perrin ends up with it. Zarfus tried a deflection in front. It comes over to Johnson. Johnson in front. Dow couldn't quite handle that. Good opportunity in front. Here's Johnson's shot, gloved by Belil. Matt Strakota's a freshman, moved up off the Bantam team. He's seeing his first varsity experience here in the third period for Hudson. Strakota had an excellent year for the Bantam A team, which is a primary feeder for Hudson. Hudson plays its youth hockey games in Minnesota, as opposed to a lot of schools in Wisconsin, which have the junior varsity team. The puck is rung around the boards, comes out, and goes down for an ice. Hudson wrapped off a pretty amazing 25 shots in that second period. They ended up chasing starting goaltender Rivard, and he's replaced by Belil. Belil did a very good job keeping the score within sight for Somerset. There's Husebo with the puck with Dardine down in the corner battling with Van Someren. McSorley comes away with it. McSorley feeds it to Husebo. Nice feed, but into the skates of Husebo. Puck chipped in by Urku. Kostik's got it. Kostik around the net, brings it around for Dardine. Dardine leaves it for Husebo. Hudson with a 3-on-2 shaping up, and offside there stops that good-looking rush by Hudson. Hudson's Mike Sarner out here to take the face-off. Pucks in over to Perrin. Perrin to Kostik. Kostik dumps it in on net. Sarno giving chase. Comes out to Kostik. Kostik in front. Perrin sends it over to Sarno. Sarno tries to give it back. But Perrin intercepted there and carried out by Flom. Puck skidding around between skates there. Flom ends up with it, sends it through the crease, no one home for Somerset. Zarfus comes out with it. Zarfus into the zone, slips around a man, sends a shot right on net, comes around, leaves it for Perrin. Perrin one-timer, deflected up and out of play. Big Ryan Haynes in there mucking it up. He had 3 Spartans trying to move him out of the crease, and that doesn't work for with Big Rhino in the middle. He does blot out the sun when he's in there. That's just what they want him to do. Here's Zach Beinlich taking the face-off now against Urku. Spence Corum out on the blue line for Hudson with Perrin. Puck rung around the boards. There's Urhammer sending it over to Conrad. Conrad tries to hit a long pass to Urku up on the Hudson blue line. Knocked down by Perrin. Perrin's got it. Sends it over to Corum. Corum up to Drewski. Drewski sends it back to Corum. Corum chips it over to Perrin, pays the price for that. There's Perrin coming away with the puck. And skates it out, sends it up to Patrick. Patrick chips it into the Somerset zone. Patrick looking, Perrin jumps right into the play. Perrin and Weinlich there, skating over the puck. Here's Urihammer skating it out for Somerset. Dakota gets his first save as a varsity goalie. Here's Weinlich with the puck. Weinlich and Drewiski 2-on-2. Weinlich tried to slip it around Flom and comes out. Drewiski sends it into the zone where it's picked up by Conrad. Conrad sends it out. And Zick chasing. Peters battling in there for Somerset. Patrick down in, puck pins up on Zick's stick. Zick sends it up to Drewiski. Drewiski sends it wide to Johnson. Johnson picks it up. 2-on-1 here with Patrick. Johnson slips around, tried a little backhand. Belil got there and knocked it down. Here's Van Someren with the puck. Sent out by Dow. Johnson over to Patrick. Johnson picks it up. Slides around his man. Puck kicked wide by Belil. Now Johnson ends up with it again. Johnson in front. Oh, Zarfus, goalmouth feed. Another rebound shot. Johnson puts it away. Hudson had 2 or 3 chances down low. Zarfus had 2 shots at that rebound of Johnson's first shot. Johnson wheeled around, picked up the puck, and lifted it over Belil. So Hudson scores their 6th goal at 4:13 of the third. Johnson from Zarfus. Pretty familiar combination if you read game sheets for Hudson. Either Johnson from Zarfus or Zarfus from Johnson. Now usable out to take the face-off against Flom. Usable walks away with it, comes into the zone. Hawken knocks it off his stick. McSorley rides him off the stick. Now Usable ends up with it, tries to get it over to Dardine. Didn't quite have enough juice on that pass. Here's Rodewald with the puck. Rodewald sends it out of the zone. A little long for Usable down in front. Puck comes wide to Dardine. Dardine up to McSorley. Urku knocks it off McSorley's stick. Sent into the zone by Rodewald. Puck rung around the boards. Perrin keeps it in. Perrin stick handling through traffic. Ends up skating all the way around, pivots, and then is finally taken off the puck by Van Someren. Perrin gets it. Oh, nice little play there. McSorley over to Usable. Got a little punch in on the net, and Hudson, with that, registers their 50th shot of the night. Well, Coach Mike Stoskopf emptying the bench now. All the Hudson guys getting out there. Mike Sarno taking the face-off now. Puck knocked out of the zone, and that's will be an ice. No, Zick is going to catch up, so that ice will be waved off. Zick sends the puck around. Kostic coming over to pick it up. Kostic with speed through neutral ice. Comes into the zone. Looks around a man, sends a shot right on net. Kicked wide by Belil. Conrad tries a backhand, taken by Zick at the blue line. Zick in front. Johnson had an opportunity there. He sends it in front. Ryan Haynes just skated over it. Zick shot in front. Deflection. Knocked down and eventually covered by Belil. Oh, shots coming at Belil from all angles here. Hudson really wheeling and dealing. Thought Ryan O'Haines was going to put that one away. It just skipped over his stick. Hudson registered a quick 3 shots there. Somerset changes lines. This would be Peters taking the face off now. No, excuse me, Urihammer. Puck comes out to Zick. Zick shot deflected. off of Peters and up and out of play. Like I said, we've been losing a lot of pucks here tonight. Hudson throwing bombs at the net, and every once in a while they deflect out of play. Here's face-off coming out of the zone. Valerian's skating it out. Knocked off the puck by Zick. Zick's one of the smaller players on the Hudson team, but he's probably got as many hits as anybody on the team. He's absolutely fearless. The puck coming over to Johnson in the corner. Johnson working the puck over to Haynes. Haynes and Conrad there. Sarno comes in, lays his shoulder into Conrad. Comes out to the half boards where Kostic sends it back to Haynes. Here's Johnson back in against Hawken. Hawken rubbed him off the puck. Johnson comes back out. Here's Beinlich shot, deflected up and over the net by Belil. Johnson again with the puck. That's his forecheck, keeping it in. Haynes with the puck now. Haynes shot on Belil. Rebound goes behind him, but Belil manages to cover up. Well, it's become a shooting gallery down here in the Somerset end. Hudson launching shot after shot. Belil holding up very well. There's Duriski back in there battling against Hawken. You know, he comes out with it around the net. Skates around Van Someren. Van Someren trying to apply the pressure. Does get him off the puck. Patrick sends it over to Perrin. Perrin shot in front. Deflected up and off Belil and into the net. Josh Perrin registers the 7th goal for Hudson here at the 7:13 mark. Okay, so the assists on that go to Beinlich and Patrick. Good forecheck pressure by Hudson.
Assisted by 19, Josh Perrin, and 6, Mitch Patrick.
Okay, I called that wrong. That shot by Perrin was deflected up and over by Beinlich, so Beinlich gets the credit for the goal there on the deflection. You know, Beinlich with the puck sends it up to Perrin. Perrin tries to slip the puck through Van Someren. Perrin with the puck sends it back behind the net. Van Someren after it. Van Someren rings it around for Conrad. Conrad up and kept in by Perrin. Perrin comes out. Urquhart's got it. Urquhart's got the lone Somerset goal. Cleaned up on that play by Perrin. Spence Corum sends it around for Patrick. Patrick with the puck. Sending it through center ice. Leaves it for Duriski into his skates. And now skated out by Wold. Perrin lays Wold out. Johnson leaves it for Duriski. Duriski shot deflected off by Belil. Duriski with the puck. Sends it over to Kostic. Kostic shot in front. Hit a skate. And ends up with Conrad. Conrad lifts it up and out of play. Oh, he hit the heating coil over there. I think some of the fans that were counting on that warmth might be upset. But there's been a lot of pucks out of play here tonight. Hudson's already registered 14 shots here. Less than at about the halfway mark here in the third period. Now Cody Johnson taking the face-off against Urhammer. Puck comes out to Kostic. Kostic to Johnson. Puck comes by. There's Zick knocking Urhammer off. Zick hit by Urhammer behind the net. Zick stays with it. Puck comes out to Johnson here on the blue line. Hawken kicks it. Good defensive job there by Zick, knocking down that pass from Hawken. Somerset had a couple guys in the slot there. A good defensive job by Zick. Zick leaves it. Coming out of the zone is Cody Johnson. Johnson fighting off a stick check, puck taken away and sent out of the zone by Conrad. Here's Valerian coming into the Hudson zone. He got around Zick. Shot just wide of Strakota. Johnson tried to chip the puck out of the zone, sent back in by Conrad. Zick taking hard off the puck. Ends up on Johnson's stick. Johnson hit hard at center ice by Hawken. Comes back to Perrin. Perrin backhands. Conrad intercepts. Puck comes over to Kostic. Kostic tried to chip it. Now it's up on Dardine's stick. And Somerset dumps it back in the Hudson zone. Kostic after it. Oh, battle down in front. Devon with the puck right now. Devon sends it around. There's Conrad. The net comes off its moorings, so that'll bring a face-off over to the left of the Hudson goal. This is Flom taking the face-off against Hughesball. Puck comes out in the skates, comes out of the zone. Hughesball with it. Hughesball over to Dardine. Dardine tried a one-timer, intercepted it. Hughesball tried to get the puck over. Rodewald keeps it in. Rodewald chips it down in the corner. Dardine's got it behind the net now. Dardine reverses, comes over to McSorley. McSorley back to Dardine. I think these guys watch a lot of old Wayne Gretzky film. They're always got somebody in the kitchen behind the opposing net while those two guys look for open ice. It doesn't matter who's got the puck. The other two guys are always looking for open ice and a chance to score. Rodewald's got the puck now for Hudson. Sends it over to Perrin. 5:25 left here in the game. Perrin taking off the puck, but does get it up. The puck intercepted by Valerian. Here's Urkel going to the net. Nice job by Rodewald there, laying down, knocking down that attempted pass. Big Ryan Haynes riding Conrad off the puck. Urkel comes away with it. Haynes and Urkel over at battling at center ice. Haynes using that big stick, gets it into the Somerset zone. Puck kept in by Perrin. Perrin in front to Haynes. Haynes takes his time and buries it. Big Rhino Haynes for a big man, beautiful hands. Rhino Haynes puts in Hudson's 7th goal at 12-13. That's Haynes from Perrin for Hudson's 7th goal on their 57th shot.
Scoring for Hudson, number 27, Ryan Haynes.
Good anticipation there by Josh Perrin, set up that play. He snuck in, kept the puck in the zone, got it over to Haynes. Haynes walked in all alone and just waited till Valerian commit, and then he buried it over his shoulder. There's Somerset's Erhammer getting a shot on Strakota. Puck comes out to Conrad. Conrad over to Hawken. Haynes knocks it down and chips it out of the zone. Khalil sends it out. Hawken chips it into neutral ice, where Valerian gets it into the Hudson zone. Zick skates it out, puts his shoulder into Valerian. Like I said, Zick has probably got more hits than anybody on the Hudson team this year, even though he's one of the smaller players. Here's Duriski with the puck, leaves it for Zarfus. Zarfus around a man, in with a shot on Belil. Puck comes out to Kostic. Kostic shot in, deflected off the side of the net. There's Perrin keeping it in the zone. Conrad reverses, trying to find a little room. Tries to send it off the boards. Perrin keeps it in, back on Conrad's stick. Perrin with the puck. Perrin in front. Patrick tried a little backhand in front. Patrick taking some abuse in there from a couple of the Spartans. Hangs in, gets a shot on goal. Here's Conrad, accidentally stopped that puck. Duriski with it, tries to do a little wraparound. Well, Duriski and Conrad are going to go to the box. I think a coincidental rough here.
10 white, 11 blue, both minors roughing. 5 on 5, not number 5. Way down.
About 12:46 coincidental minors. That'll be keep each team at even strength. Druski and Conrad in the box for coincidental rough. Somerset had an opportunity at a 2-on-1. Puck mishandled by Somerset as Somerset's Flom and stopped an opportunity there for Somerset. Here's Hawken with the puck. Hawken wins it around. Off Perrin skates. Perrin gets it over to Gardine. Gardine had to hold up while Hudson got on side. And Dardine comes away with the puck. Or excuse me, that's Husebo comes away with the puck. Puck comes out to Spence Corum. Corum sends it in. Belil gloves it. We're on running time now. 2:20 left in the game. Once a team gets a 6-goal lead, it goes to running time. Hudson has now registered 60 shots, so they equal their earlier shot output against in their early meeting with Somerset. There's Sarno, Haynes, puck under Haynes there. Haynes tried to get it to, or Sarno tried to get it Johnson in front. Here's a shot in front. Haynes blotting out the sun in front again. Oh, puck tipped up and over the net. Johnson comes away with it. Johnson tried to shoot it back in. Then Samra gets it out. Johnson with it. Flom sends it back to Van Someren. Puck knocked down by Haynes. Haynes tried to get it to Johnson going to the net. Haynes comes away with it. It's unfair that there's a great opportunity for Sarno in the middle. It's unfair there. Johnson keeps it in the zone. Johnson around and attempt to check by Flom. Johnson walks it in. Lost the handle on it right as he got to the goal mouth. Johnson again with it. Haynes tried a backhander, knocked down. Unfair to have a guy that big with hands like that. I'm sure the Somerset guys are thinking that. Here's Johnson with the puck. The puck finally comes out of the zone. Kostic knocks it back to neutral ice. Here's Zick defensing that play. Kostic with it. Kostic with speed coming through neutral ice. Kostic over back against Hockham. Leaves it for Johnson. Johnson coming around. Johnson working for the backhand. And he puts it away. A lot of patience there by Cody Johnson. Wheeling and dealing through the slot, finally found his opening and put it in for Hudson's 9th goal of the night.
18.
Cody Johnson all alone there for Hudson's 9th goal with 39 seconds left in the game. The puck sent out of the zone by Rodewald. Finally gets the puck back to Perrin. Perrin sends it up to Phil Druski. Beinlich ends up with it. Beinlich up to Rodewald. Rodewald puts it into the Somerset zone. Comes back to Patrick. Patrick knocked off the puck. Van Someren comes up with it. Van Someren, puck stolen by Beinlich. Beinlich coming through the circle. Shot deflected up and over. And that's the end of the game here. Well, Hudson came up with 22 shots in that period, scored 4 more goals and skates away to a convincing 9-1 victory. While the teams shake hands here, I'll recap the scoring. At 4:13, Hudson's Cody Johnson scored on an assist from Taylor Zarfus. And at the 7:13 mark, Zach Beinlich deflected a shot from Perrin, and the second assist there going to Mitch Patrick. Big Ryan Haynes got the 8th goal for Hudson. A lot of patience in front. Puck served up to him by Josh Perrin. And then Hudson's final score came at the 6:41 mark where Cody Johnson skated all the way through the crease, finally hit a backhand with the 16:40 1 mark to give Hudson their final tally at 9-1. So a very convincing win for Hudson here against a young and outmanned Somerset team. So we're in the playoff mode now. It's one and done for the rest of the year. Hudson, who has the number 2 seed in Section 1, wins here and moves on to face River Falls for the 3rd time this year. River Falls, the last I heard, was beating Amory 7-3. Hudson has met River Falls twice this year. They tied their first game, a very exciting match here, and then came back and beat River Falls 4-2 at River Falls. River Falls is rated number 7 in state and number 4 in the state power rankings, although Hudson seems to play them very well. So we're looking forward to that next matchup, which will be at Hudson, because Hudson has a higher seed in the sectional. So that convincing 9-1 win for Hudson. A lot of scoring to go through. I'm not going to do that tonight. We expected to win. Hudson showed up. Hudson played hard, put an incredible 60 shots on net, and skates away with a 9-1 win. So that's a wrap for tonight. So it's been Dave Drawisky, Nancy Johnson for the Hudson Blue Line Club, saying come on out for the next playoff game. Nancy, when is that? Saturday? Tuesday. Next Tuesday. We'll be at 7 o'clock here at the Hudson Sports and Civic Center. So good night and enjoy some hockey.